So today's Friday, I'm just outside the garage. Summer's pretty much over now, so trying to get some last minute things done. I am working on the BMW. Gonna repaint the quarters here on both sides. Some reason when I welded in those panels and I used the self-etching primer and all that shit, somehow the rust had appeared through where I filled it, but not on the actual metal itself, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm trying a different approach. What I did is I sanded it down, and then I sanded all the filler away, and I put in some POR 15. I put that over top of the whole metal, minus the filler. Then once it dried, I sanded it down a little bit, put some body filler on it, sanded that down smooth, put another layer of POR 15 on it, and now I got a layer of self-etching primer. Then I'm going to put some high fill primer and then sand it down smooth and blast again. Hopefully that should fix the problem with rust coming from behind the body filler for some reason. Working on the Jeep. I'm trying to get down to what that noise is. I kind of think I narrowed it down to the timing chain if you listen. It's kind of like a rattle, but it comes and goes. Sometimes it's more noticeable than others. It's more noticeable after you've been driving the Jeep for a while, so it's not really a good example to be showing you with this, but that's what I'm sitting at. I just tossed some high fill primer on there, and I can already see I got kind of a low spot right there and a low spot right there where I didn't feather the paint enough. So it's a good possibility once I sand this coat off, well not off, but sand it down, that it may help it out. So I just got this all sanded down just a little bit. I still got a little bit more to cut back on here, but you can see where it's high and then a little bit high there where I sanded it down. I'm going to give this another quick shot of primer and sand it down, because something like this, when I'm painting it, is going to show up in the paint. You're going to be able to notice it. So I'm just going to give another shot of primer so it's all one color again, and then we should be getting pretty close to painting it.
Where are you at?
Almost 10,000 steps. My Fitbit just hit 10,000 steps. How far have you got?
9,500.
Not quite there. I've beaten you again.
Today is yummy.
Alright, today is Friday. Yeah, Friday, and I'm in Banff National Park, our Banff town site in the mountains, just hanging out. And it was my friend Elise, who's getting her ass whooped because she conned me into getting a Fitbit to have a friendly competition to see who could do the most activity in the day. Day 3, and I'm still kicking her fucking ass. Beating her down. Yeah, have you hit 10,000 steps yet?
No. Close.
Whipping your ass for day 3.
Close.
Alright, we're just at the Banff Springs Inn, checking stuff out. This is probably the most expensive hotel in the area. So bad. Alright, we're gonna try this deadly combination of Reese's Pieces peanut butter and Nutella sandwiches. Holy motherfucking shit. Surprisingly enough, it does taste like a Reese's Pieces chocolate bar, except you're eating it on bread. There's probably like 100 grams of fat in those two sandwiches, I bet you, because none of those are all that healthy for you. Alright, I'm just at the Calgary Farmers Market off of Blackfoot Trail. Gonna pick up some shit here I picked up some bison smokies, some beef and lamb sausage, and some free-range bacon. Fucking right, so I'm a hipster now. If you listen, you can really hear that rattle. I thought it was the lifters, but I nailed it down to the possibility of the timing chain. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and one of my neighbors is kind of in a bind. He was replacing a wheel bearing on his van, and he kind of had it pulled halfway out of the garage, and he damaged the threads in the CV axle. So he couldn't get his nut back on, he couldn't get his garage closed at nighttime, so he's kind of having a shit show. So he contacted me and I started to go help him. So I grabbed some fucking files here because thinking I could probably get away with, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to try to file the part that got mushroomed off, and then using these files right here to kind of recut the threads, and I got thread files as well, so I'll see what I can do to get them patched up and maybe get his van back together. Alright, just looking at the axle threads, you can see the threads at the very beginning are all damaged, a little bit bent, so I'm going to try to file them back and then reshape them with my tools here, so hopefully we can get that nut back on. Here's kind of a close-up view of it. Alright, after fucking around with it, we decided just to pull the shaft out and replace it. Nut had a piece in the middle, I don't even know where the nut is now. Had a piece in the middle that the thread was a little bit stretched, and you know, spending too much time fucking around with it, we decided to pull the fucking axle out, and he's gonna get a new axle and put her back in. Hopefully everything should be fine. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you can file the threads, able to get the nut back on, but what happened is that he hammered on the end of it trying to get the bearing off, and kind of mushroomed the threads a little bit, then forced the nut on, and it kind of fucked up the threads in the nut. And then I tried to chase it backwards after I'd filed it, and it didn't quite work out the way I wanted to. And then fuck, there's a lot of at the last minute we just said fuck it. I said might as well just pull the axle shaft and get a new one. Like if I had a die in a tap to fix that, but fuck, what is it, a 33mm nut or something? So I don't know what the inside thread is, but to buy a fucking die in a tap with that would probably be the same price as buying a fucking axle. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning now. I'm gonna head her to bed, and just trying to help the guy out because it's his only vehicle. He's kind of in a bind. He doesn't want to fuck around with this and that. He just wants to get it back together. So, you know, that's what happens when you take on a job, and a lot of people show them in the videos where, you know, everything goes smooth. And this is a perfect example where things don't go smooth, and then things go south, and then you're left and you're fucked, and then you're like, you panic and you're struggling. So I mean, you gotta really understand what's going on. I wish people would show in their videos like the real like truth of shit that could happen. But anyways, I'm gonna get going. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty short, but if you have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.